Yo, it's official. Like a referee with a whistle. So like and share this episode. I tell you, man, some of this shit is some of the things I've been hearing over the past 2 months. Some of this shit you gotta take with a grain of salt. For real. So Puffy got a new lawsuit out here. Some woman says she been sexually assaulted not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times, 5 times. Damn. How many times does it take for you to get raped or sexually assaulted before you say, hey, I ain't come back no more? I think the 5th time she said, this broad said Puff gave her some ecstasy pills. She came back, she got a sexually assaulted 4 or 5 times. She said, I just love being raped. Like, oh, God, that's it. Now, see, when I hear stories like this, I was like, yo, they doing that shit again, man? I mean, people are just saying anything now. And this broad goes back to the 90s. Diddy met this broad in the 90s. And she, back in New York City, at the Fashion Institute of Technology. That's how they met. When he was in college. Basically, this shit is wild out here, man. And I see things different from a lot of guys. Because, I've been around. I've seen a lot of things. I know how shit can happen out here. You got to realize that these entertainers, dope boys, people living that street life, they're not living like me or like the average cat. I've been around a lot of these people. They live fast. There's a lot of alcohol and drugs going on, and women and drugs, pill popping and cocaine sniffing. They're in and out of the clubs. There's violence and all that shit. So when you see somebody like Diddy, he ain't living like me or you. It's a completely different way of living. So, what type of woman would want to be around a guy like that? You got to ask yourself that. What type of guy, knowing that the type of guy that Diddy is, and these women know what type of guy he is. Because they out there living that life too. They all the same. So when I see a video with Cassie getting beat down, I don't really feel anything for her because, she chose to be around a guy like that. And I'm going to just be honest. I never looked at Cassie like she was a respectable woman in the first place. Now, does that mean she deserved to get beat up like that? No. But I don't respect these women that's out in the streets like that. That's out in the club like that. That's getting high and drinking and smoking and fucking dudes like crazy. I can't really feel anything for a female that's out there like that. I'm sorry. That's just how I can't respect every woman. I'm sorry. Every woman doesn't deserve respect. I'm sorry. I hate to break it to you. You know what I'm saying? Does every woman deserve to get beat up? No. But every woman doesn't deserve respect. So when I look at the video, and when you look at the video, we see two different things. We see two different people. And it can be that bad. Cassie was around Puffy for a long time. And if you see the video, like I did, Puff ran out the room and got the bag from her. And he was walking back to the room. And Cassie walking back to the room behind him. So if it was that bad, she could have left. But she didn't leave. Why didn't she leave if it was that bad? See, we see different. I see things different than most people. I'm not going to jump on the woman's side just because she's a woman. No, I just don't think like that. There's a lot of people online are like that. You know, they're kind of like, just because she's a woman that got beat down, they be like, oh, you shouldn't be beating on her like that. That's true. She shouldn't be getting beat on like that. But she ain't no saint. She ain't nobody that I would respect. I'm just saying. If you're a woman hanging around somebody like Diddy, I don't really respect. I have a hard time respecting a woman that hanging around him. I mean, look, we heard the rumors about Diddy in the 90s. I mean, what type of woman would hang around Diddy? Nobody that I would respect. You know what I'm saying? I don't got no love for these hoes, man. That's just me, though. I see things different. I've been around. You know? So this chick right here, she's a white chick, claimed that, she's saying, she took, basically, she took she's playing the victim, the white woman. Oh my gosh, the big black man is, he's so powerful. He controlled me. I was high out of my mind. She took that type of posture. And white women been doing this shit. The same thing happened to Bill Cosby. Them women, they took that type of posture. That's the same thing. This white woman, she took that same position. So that's why when I saw this, I was like, oh, they're doing that shit again. Like the big black man is, he had me, I was so vulnerable. I was high out of my mind. I didn't know what was going on. That type of shit. I'm like, please. But what happens, this girl, I think she was a bartender. And a lot of them chicks, and them bar chicks, them chicks that's out in the nightlife, guys, unfortunately, they just use them. They just see them as they are. It's just for sex. And a lot of these women don't get chose. So if by any chance, after they done lost their looks, they're not getting picked up, guys ain't really looking at them no more, checking for them no more. So what happens a lot of times, these women become opportunists after they get older and washed up. So that's what this woman is doing, basically. She's probably in her 40s. Probably late 40s by now, because they met in the 90s. So she's in her late 40s. She's washed up. She don't look the same. You know, they blocked her out right here. She don't look halfway worth a damn. So now, you know, she's an opportunist. And she found some attorney, or maybe the attorney found her, I don't know. And, they schemed up some opportunity, concoct some type of opportunity to get some money. That's all it is. I know how shit go out here. Everything ain't what it seems, especially when it comes to a money grab, you know. But yeah, that's what I mean. At some point, you got to be like, look, some of this shit, this ain't adding up. It doesn't take a genius to figure this shit out. All you got to use is a little common sense. God, you be like, come on, man. A woman says if you had a daughter and she tells if your daughter tells you, hey, I got raped by this guy, and you go back to his house, you gonna think your daughter's a goddamn fool or she lost her fucking mind. You be like, what? That don't make no sense. Why you call me, tells me you got raped by this dude or sexually assaulted by this dude, but then you go back to his house not once, not twice, not 3-4 times. You be like, either I failed you as a father, or you lost your mind. That's the only logical thing you would say if you had a daughter that said something like that to you. You know, but a lot of us, you know, we become ass kissers to women. We start to we follow the herd. We become sheep. Let me tell you what's interesting about a lot of people online. A lot of these entertainers, a lot of these people that's in the music business or used to be in the music business, I guess some of these people Puff might have did business with, or at some point, some of them, or I guess associates with a lot of these people. And a lot of these people, man, are cutthroat. A lot of these people are talking mad shit, throwing Diddy under the bus. I'm like, yo. Like, for example, like the Breakfast Club. You know, you got Charlamagne the God and DJ Envy on there. And that other chick, what's her name? Just Hilarious. I think that's her name. Just Hilarious on the Breakfast Club. Now, you know, at one point, Revoke did a deal. They had a deal with the Breakfast Club. But once Diddy got voted off the Revolt, they started talking mad shit on the Breakfast Club. They started saying, "Oh, you know, that broad, Just Hilarious said, Diddy needs to go to jail." I'm like, damn. Now, she wouldn't have never said that. You know, she would have never said that if Puff was still associated with Revoke. She only said that shit because she know nothing was gonna happen. Just like Envy and Charlamagne, they said what they said because they knew it don't matter. He ain't gonna do nothing anyway, because he ain't got nothing to do with them no more. So they basically throwing him under the bus. Now, see, when I see people do shit like that, when they throw each other under the bus, that's cutthroat, man. I don't trust people like that. When I see people talking like the bodyguards that used to work for Diddy, saying foul shit, I would never trust somebody like that. I would be afraid to be around somebody like that. Somebody that throws somebody under the bus, talks shit about them. I wouldn't trust none of those people in real life. I wouldn't trust none of those people. See, all of those people that's talking that talk that used to work for him, the bodyguards, the R&B singers and the rappers and all these people, they was around having a good time, partying with all the girls and all the drugs and alcohol and all that, and all the fucking and sucking going on. And they didn't say anything about anything. Because it wasn't a problem until, they started saying, I got jerked. He ripped me off, stole my publishing. I ain't got paid. That's when it became a problem. When they didn't get what they thought they were supposed to get. But while the drugs was flowing and the alcohol and the women, there wasn't no problem then. I don't trust people like that. That's that cutthroat mentality. I mean, if it's wrong, say something about it regardless. But see, these people will say, they'll start to talk shit once they don't get what they want. You know, there's a lot of people that's been around Diddy. They're just a bunch of ass kisses. The only people that I know of that stood up to Diddy was the Locks. Yeah, the only people that stood up to Puff was the Locks. And they got off his record label, Bad Boy. Everybody else seemed like they were just a bunch of ass kisses. And see, that's how most people are. Just in general. You don't gotta be an entertainer. Most people are ass kisses. They'll, as long as the person that's in power is pulling the strings and doing whatever, they'll go along and get along. Until things stop, they don't benefit, they're not getting what they're supposed to be getting, or I'm getting ripped off. And then they're not next close to the person, because none of these people, 9 times out of 10, if I had to guess, most of these people will not say what they say on the radio or on the internet in Puff's face. They wouldn't say. Most of these guys are cowards, men and women. And I'm not defending Puff by any means. I've had my I've had a lot of critical things to say about Diddy over the past 20 years. Well, I'm not defending him. I'm just saying, I'm just observing how a lot of these entertainers are. These people are not loyal at all. They're worse than prostitutes. Some of these people, I'm like, God damn. I wouldn't trust any of these people. I mean, they go with the wind blow, basically. But these people, they're not living like regular people. The women ain't the same. You know, they have access to drugs and alcohol and all kinds of people and all kinds of women. And sex, that ain't nothing. Having sex, that ain't nothing, man. You please. Women show up to have sex with a dude. You ain't got to ask for no sex. I'm like, what? What is this? I mean, some guys can't even imagine having it like that. You never had to ask for sex? Never. That's almost like a fucking fantasy for a lot of guys. I mean, you never had to ask for sex? No. A guy like Diddy, he ain't got to ask for no sex. Woman come over, yeah, I'm coming over to break you off. I had women to tell me that shit. I'm not even a rich or famous dude. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine someone with status and money and famous. Imagine how many women throw themselves at him. Imagine some of these guys that that's dead and gone, like Prince, Michael Jackson. Could you imagine? I talked about this before. Could you imagine somebody like Prince? I mean, he never had to ask. Could you imagine? I mean, you got hundreds of women at your house. Because, Prince had parties. I don't know what kind of parties, but he had parties. But could you imagine somebody like Prince having hundreds of women at his house? And everybody, all the women loved him because they showed up. They wouldn't have came over there. And these are well-known women in entertainment. This ain't like fucking walk-ins. You got to get invited to these parties. And more than likely, he could have any of them if he wanted to. Now, the average guy, that's like a fucking movie. A fantasy for an average dude. That's how somebody like Diddy, he got it like that. He got it like that. So a lot of times when you hear, when these lawsuits come out, especially when a video come out like that, a lot of guys secretly are they haters. They're secretly jealous. They'll just say he did it because a lot of these guys really want to be like Diddy in a lot of ways without being violent and all that shit. They want that status. They want women to run behind them and give them all the pussy they want. A lot of guys are jealous of guys like Diddy. That's where a lot of that comes from. So a lot of times, if anything comes out about somebody like Diddy, OJ, Cosby, whatever, they'll just say, "Oh, I think he did it," with no proof of anything. They'll just look at him from their lens and be like, "Oh, I think he did it." I'm like, well, how do you? Now, if you start asking them questions, you'd be like, you're not going to really get no answer. Everything's going to be based on feeling. I'll be like, well, how'd you come up with that? Well, I just look at the type of person he is. Well, you seen him before? You met him in person? No. Well, how'd you come up with this? They don't have no logical answer. These guys are like women. They'll just say, hey, based on his past, He's a scumbag. So they'd be like, oh, that's good for him. Now, see, you got to be careful with that. Just because somebody's a scumbag or a weirdo, that don't mean they deserve to get mistreated. Just like when Cassie got beat down by Diddy in the video, that don't mean she deserved to get beat up because she belonged to the streets. You got to be careful with that. Just like R. Kelly. R. Kelly, you know, he's a weirdo. We know that. But that don't mean he deserved to be railroaded. That don't mean he deserved to be unfairly sent to prison, set up. We got to be careful with that. See, because some people will say, well, you know, because some people they'll think, well, that'll never happen to me. Bullshit. It could easily happen to you. It could happen to anybody, especially in America. If you lived the life of partying and you party every weekend, you meet a bunch of girls all around your state, all around the country, and you've been doing this for 10 years, 10, 20 years, this could easily happen to you. After 10 years, you ain't gonna remember all them damn women. You ain't gonna remember. You might not even know where they live. Most of them live at after 10 years. You don't know if they're dead or alive after 10, 20 years. You don't know if they're dead, alive, or married. If you're meeting a bunch of women like that, so that could easily happen to you. You can go to college for 4 years and meet a gang of women, and it could easily happen to you. One of these white women could easily say, hey, he raped me when we was in college. He took advantage of me. He slipped ecstasy pills on me. I was high out of my mind. I didn't know what I was doing. And I woke up the next day and my whole body was hurting. That could easily happen to you with no proof. Her word against yours. And if it's a white woman, they're going to take her word over yours 100% of the time until proven otherwise. And if you got a little money, it's an easy money grab for her. And your reputation is going to be fucked. And you might go to jail. If you're just a regular Joe Smo, you might go to jail. We've seen and heard guys, football players and basketball players go to jail in college. Or go to jail before college. And turns out the shit was a lie. 99% of the time the shit was a lie. And the white woman will come out years later and said it was a lie. 10 years might go by, it was a lie. I got paid to say that or blah, blah. But shit, it's over now. My whole career is fucked. My football career, done. Basketball career, done. And this white bitch, she ain't got no money. So what? Some people, well, you need to sue her. Well, she ain't got no money. What the hell I'm going to get? And there's no laws. I don't think there's no laws on the book for that type of shit. I think maybe Texas might have something. Some state law, but there's no federal laws that last I checked. But she ain't got no money anyway. After 10 years, this bitch, shit, she's the same as she was in college. It's just another jag. Just another gal. Just another hoe. So I don't got no love for them hoes, man. I don't got nothing against them, but I have a hard time feeling sorry for you. You made your own bed. You made a decision to hang out with that dude. I mean, I don't got nothing against them hoes, but I don't feel anything for them. But that's just me though. I don't see all women the same like most people. I don't. And most guys don't. But they're not going to say it. They'll just go along with the get along. They'll see what everybody else is saying. And they'll be like, oh, yeah, I feel the same way too, man. You shouldn't have done that shit, this and that. It's always the same shit, man. It's the same old, you know. So, hey, like, share this video. And I'm going to put the link. I'm going to put the, I want to hear what you have to say. I'm going to put the link on here. Join the convo, man. I want to hear what you think about the video and the whole situation. Yeah, I want to hear what you have to say. You know, you got anything to say, jump on, man. Otherwise, I'm be up off here. I didn't have a whole lot to say about this. This is easy work. Easy work. This is easy. I've been around, and the crazy thing is, I still know him. I know a guy that know Diddy personally, and he said, Diddy has two sides. He got like a dark side, and he has another side. He do some good things and do some bad things. That's basically what he told me. Like, he told me this like 10 years ago. A guy I used to work with, where I live at. That dude, he said Diddy got two sides. He do some good shit and some bad shit. But like I said, I don't see. It's hard for me to have pity for somebody that made their own bed hard. You know what I'm saying? If somebody make a lot of bad decisions, I don't really have no compassion for that, for people like that. You know what you got into. People told you about that dude. They told you about that man. And you still chose to be over there with him. And when shit hits the fan, I can't feel sorry for you. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm built different. I don't know. But, now some people will say, well, he forced me to do it. He made me do it. Nobody made you do nothing, man. Cut it out. People say stuff like, how he forced me to do it, especially women. Men and women do it. My wife didn't like that. She won't let me. Stop this nonsense. No, the truth is, you let your wife control you. The truth is, you let your husband control you. The truth is, you let your boyfriend control you. The truth is, you let your girlfriend control you. Unless they put a gun to your head or pull out a weapon or some shit like that. But if that ain't the case, you let them control you. You persuaded them, they persuaded you to do it in some form, way, shape, or fashion. That's the truth. Take responsibility for that shit. Don't play the victim. That's what most people do. That's what most people do. They play the victim and because they don't want to take responsibility. That's what it really comes down to. So they'll be like, hey, forced me to do it. He was a big man. I didn't want to, I was afraid for my life. No, you're being a coward. You're being a coward now. And you have grown men talking like this. Men and women talking like this. They act like kids. They act like kids. Nobody can really control you unless you let them. They persuaded you in some way, shape, or form. They had the leverage on you in some way, shape, or form. But at the end of the day, you set yourself up for that. You made a decision. Take responsibility for your decision that you made. That's all I'm saying. And stop blaming other people. If you keep blaming people, you give them the power over you. That's what it is. That's really the truth. Most people don't want to take responsibility for their actions. They really want to blame somebody else. That's the problem. That's the problem with most people. I never was that type of guy. If I made a decision, if I fuck up, it's on me. I chose to be over there with that man or that woman or these people. Even though they ripped me off or stabbed me in the back, I allowed those people to come around me. They didn't pull no gun out on me and made me come over to their house no, I told them they could come over, or I asked them if I could come over to their house. And the answer was yes. I allowed them to come in my space. And if they stabbed me in the back or did something I didn't like, it was my fault. I already knew what type of person they was. I had a pretty good idea what type of people they were capable of. But I chose to ignore all the signs. It was right in my fucking face. And I still ignored them. I learned my lesson and I don't make those mistakes no more. I listen to my instincts. I trust my instincts. If something ain't right with somebody, if I even have to just think about somebody taking advantage of me, or if I get a sense that something ain't right about somebody, if I even have to think about it, I'm out. If somebody send me a text or call me and I feel like something is a little off, I decline. I don't meet up with them. I don't go over to their house or their hotel. If I get a sense that if I have to second guess myself, I decline. I trust my instincts now. And my instincts have never failed me. I always had a sixth sense or whatever you want to call it. But I ignored it in the past. And it's never failed me. Every time I went against my instincts, I got burned every fucking time. I got burned every time, man. You know, I don't do that no more. I pay attention to my instincts. If something ain't right, I'm out. Deuces. You know what I'm saying? And I haven't had no problems since. And this was like, what? 10 years ago. Oh, I listen to my instincts. It doesn't matter where I'm at in the world. I can be somewhere. I don't even speak the language. I don't have to speak the language. I know when something ain't right in my environment. I pay attention. I observe. I understand body language. I don't have to speak your language. I know when you don't like me. I know when you don't want me around. I know when this broad ain't attracted to me. I might not know if she likes me, but I know when she don't like me. I know how sometimes it's a look, sometimes it's an energy, a vibe. I know, I can tell, I pick up on it sometimes within seconds. I had a wise man tell me years ago, the body never lies. And my goodness, that was some of the best advice I got at the time. The body never lies. He said, men lie, women lie, but numbers don't. But the body never lies. But even the numbers, they'll fix the numbers today, and the numbers will be a lie today. So you can't even depend on the numbers no more. They'll change the numbers up on you. And that might be a lie. You can't rely on the numbers no more, man. They'll fix it and make it look like it's correct, but it really ain't. So now you have to rely, it's best to rely on your instincts, your God-given instincts that you already have, but you don't use it. Women have it naturally, but even women they'll know something ain't right, and they'll just go along with it anyway. And that's the same shit I used to do. That's the same shit I used to do, but I don't do that no more. I trust my instincts. Your God-given instincts. The signs are there. You know what I'm saying? When you meet a girl, the signs are there that she likes you or don't like you. It's right in front of your face. You're just not paying attention. Maybe you don't want to pay attention, or maybe you don't care. Or maybe you just care about what you want and not what she really wants. But I always looked at it like, I don't want anybody around me that don't want to be around me. That's how I always looked at it. You did. So smash that like button. Share the video. You know. So hey, don't forget to check out all my books. Boss Life Secrets and Love Can't Wait on Amazon.com. And check out my Patreon. I just uploaded a new interview over there with Krishna Avalon. I did a podcast with her. I just uploaded that today. Well, actually yesterday. But I put the raw video on my Patreon with her. You know what I'm saying? So all of that, I'm going to put all those links below the video. You know, you can go check that out after I get off here. So, hey, that's about all I got. So like, Share this. I'm out.
Alright. Just got the call, it's going down tonight. It's a lot of goodbyes here tonight. But then I saw the stallion that I like. Hair from Cali, I live in the valley. Then you look sexy.